Welcome to the Crimeycade. I'm the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter here for episode 37 of the podcast. As we have almost wanting to crash the stream again. And I should have cleaned up behind me. And this little goofball wants to hop in my lap again. Of course he does. Get up here, goof. Come on. You want to hog the stream as you usually do. Hog the stream. Yes. Make yourself the star of the show. Like you always want to be. Now you don't want to be the star of the show. Anyway. Yeah. Typical of him. Cody has to crash the stream all the time. Anyway, a few little tidbits before we bring in our guests here tonight. A little bit of a technical difficulty. So I plugged these headphones in. The camera decides, well, it lost connection, and then I have to refresh the page and then reload everything. And it's been sitting there ready to go for an hour, and it's like I've already started the stream, and now we got a problem, and I got to reload everything one by one. What a pain. Anyway, get this thing situated here. Okay, so a couple of tidbits of announcements. So Arcade Wars for the month of November is in the books. And the winner of this month happens to be the Calvin Ghost Arcade, thanks to one Benjamin Falls, who put in 1.1 million points on Donkey Kong Jr. And that was unexpected, because Underground Retrocade put in that 800,000 point score. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I can't. Well, anyway, Steve, I'll just not even try to pronounce this. Well, I guess that's Zero Pisky. Anyway, put in an impressive 800,000 score to take the house high at the Underground Retrocade. However, Benjamin Falls put in that 1.1 million score to take the house high at Galvin Ghost. So Galvin Ghost finally breaks its losing streak and takes the first place finish for once. And the new Arcade Wars game of the month has been announced, and it is Arkanoid for the month of December. Now, new house highs in world records. Enter Wasco took the house high in World of Worlds. That's a recent Monday mystery game. Chris Plackey took Mortal Kombat. This is without the quasi-continues that Twin Galaxies has been allowing. Yes, they can start a new game from a game over, where you get stronger things to smash with break a brick with your hand. Yes, I see you, Cat. You're waving something in front of the camera. We'll bring you in a moment. Hang tight, and I can't hear you anyway. Use the private chat if you need to get a message to me. Anyway, Galvin Ghost does not allow basically continues of any kind when you're going for a score. Twin Galaxies tried to finagle a way where you could get stronger things to break. That is, if you game over on one side, you start player 2, and then you keep the progression going for the bonus stage, which is kind of a semi-continue, and they're not going to allow that. And that's how apparently somebody got 27 million on Mortal Kombat. Well, that's not going to be allowed. Chris Plackey started cold and scored 24 million points. He had to beat Reptile to get there, by the way. And double flawless victories and fatalities get you most of the way there. Pete Honda, of course, also took the house high for Hyperduel, not 1cc yet, but getting close. JP Pitts got a new speed run record on Power Stone, about 8 minutes and 55 seconds. Aaron W. got a new house high in Horror Story with 546,000. Fun Spot is putting in scores in arcade lately, and they caught Steve Wagner got new house highs, arcade house highs, or world records. Taito's Alpine Ski at 303,000. That was a Fun Spot in New Hampshire. He also got the world record on Roadrunner, the Warner Brothers Atari Games title. 1.4 million points. That was over Thanksgiving week. And of course, I mentioned Benjamin Falls got the new house high at Galloping Ghost at 1.1 million points. The world record on that, by the way, is 1.5 million. So, good work to one Benjamin Falls. I did get the house high on Star Trek Voyager. I cleared one stage, but there's a lot of room on that one. I barely scratched the surface on that game, and there's a long way to go on it. So, if somebody can clear more stages on Star Trek Voyager, they're going to have the house high pretty easily. And of course, the chase for tokens, not really the top. The order of tokens is pretty much the same. Andrew Wasco's just increasing his lead over James White for the Professor Token Taker spot. And the power rankings, of course, at Galloping Ghosts. As you see, some things are in red, and that's because there's a little bit of an issue with War of the Worlds. They have 2 tracks for War of the Worlds, but they're not different settings. They just have a separate T20 track, which is kind of inflating John Liming's position. He really should be in 6th place, as Mossy Segopian and Chris Plackey have moved up since Andrew took War of the Worlds from John Liming. So there's been some chatter. Mossy Segopian thinks that Benjamin Falls is the front runner for Gamer of the Year for the 15th season of Galloping Ghost Arcade. We'll have to see about that, but he has moved into 20th place. A bit of sad news to bring to you. The wife of TNT Amusements, Todd Tuckey, Pam Diane Tuckey, passed away earlier this week. Don't know the cause of death or any details apart from that, but the family announced that she had passed away on the 3rd. That was, Tuesday. Todd Tuckey has been pretty much a major figure in the gaming scene. Obviously, he presents those TNT amusement videos, and a lot of fun times. I don't know if Pam Tuckey has been featured in any of those videos, but regardless, she leaves behind a loving husband and 2 daughters, and best wishes to the Tuckey family who lost their mother and wife this week. All right. Hide this for the moment. Tonight, we present a roundtable as I paid a visit to the Underground Retrocade last weekend to participate in the Thanksgiving Arcade Tournament Canned Food Drive. I haven't been to the Underground Retrocade in a number of years, and Yeah, 8 years to be exact. That was a long time. There's the outside of the arcade. Down the top floor, the storefront has 5 arcade cabinets. There was a football machine on the lower level on display, but this was a cold night last Sunday. Yeah, they got the pac-man and the ghost running across the storefront window. We'll have a video tour of the building as the podcast goes along, but we'll get this off. Introducing first. Well, we got a bunch of people on the camera at the same time. It's going to be Scott Lambert, Ross, and who do we have on the right or the left?
Big dog.
Say again.
This is Jeff.
John.
Jeff. The big dog.
Jeff Stellman. Okay. Jeff Stellman, Ross, and Scott Lambert.
Wow,
also waiting in the wings. She is also an interview. She currently is an interviewer for the Bloody Wars tournament, but also a regular at the Underground Retrocade. Catherine Bozzi, welcome in.
Hi, John. Scott, Ross.
Yeah.
It's John here.
Everybody.
I think I got that. Let's see if it
Stand
changes.
by.
I'll get it back.
Where did Steven go?
Wow.
I don't know.
I just yanked my doggone microphone out.
Well, you
and my
can't see it?
headset.
Oh, no.
Who are we missing?
That's all.
That looks right. Yeah. Although Ross is hidden behind the...
That's all right.
Ross, get over.
Somebody's in the way.
We'll get
Anyway.
nice and easy. That's fine.
You see Ross's body with the duck head?
Oh, yeah.
Still has a duck head.
Anyway,
Warm for
I think
10.
he's doing it on purpose.
Anyway, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Yeah, it's been 8 years. I couldn't believe. Yeah,
It's crazy, right? You think about how long the arcade thing was a thing back in the 80s. It wasn't even 8 years long, right?
you opened what year? I think you're on your 10th year right now, correct?
We opened in 2012, so this is year 13 for us.
You're 13.
Yep.
All right. So tell me, I guess the humble beginnings of the Underground Retrocade. How did you decide that I wanted to open a classic arcade in a suburb of Chicago, Illinois?
Well, the suburb part was pretty easy. I wanted to do it close to home. The reasoning behind it was I got all nostalgic around 2010. You got Tron Legacy came out then. Ready Player One came out. So I started getting into all the stuff I was into in high school and grade school. And I was able to find my way to the Ghost shortly after they had been in existence. Started hanging out there pretty regularly. And thought, I could do this. So I went and did it.
Tracy Gleave is asking if any of my Underground Retrocade scores have been taken down.
I can't imagine that any of them have. They're all pretty high.
I think she still has Joust and Tapper for sure.
Yeah, nobody is going to be able to touch either of those scores for a very long time.
Unless somebody comes in that has the sole purpose of taking down some scores. And I think I need to come back relatively soon because while I spent most of my time concentrating on the tournament, there's a number of scores that are within by range. Let's put it that way.
Big word, Steven.
If you can take out Tracy's joust score or her
That won't
tapper-
happen. No way. No way will that happen.
Okay.
I'll buy you a
She
drink.
is the best
Eastwatts.
female joust player in the world.
Yeah. She's
No
solid.
one is going to touch that.
Joustmaster Lonnie McDonald would have to put in a serious effort to get close to her
Right.
score. Absolutely.
Well, I said best female joust player in the world. I didn't say. I mean, yeah, if Lonnie McDonald wants to pop into the Retrocade and go for it, I mean, we'll see.
He showed up the first week we were open. I had no idea who he was. And he came in and rocked our machine. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yep.
So going back to the first year, well, let's go back even further.
Or the first year?
What was question for Scott? What was your what got you into arcade gaming? What was the hook for you?
When I was a kid, I was pretty excited by Space Invaders and Star Wars and all that stuff in the late 70s. Played a lot of electromechanical games. And as the video games came out, that's what was in the rec room at the campground. So that's what I played.
And your video game exploits in the decade, I guess you started in Space Invaders was my hook. The 80s, 90s, 2000s, what was your specialty, and do you have any major gaming achievements to your credit?
I have none. I have
You have
no specialty.
none.
I mean, I'm not much of a player. I'm better at fixing stuff, so that's what I focus on.
So you became. So when you approached the opening day of Underground Retrocade, how did you? What was the trials and tribulations of acquiring all of the games you have and assembling that impressive collection?
There's probably 200 stories or more that we could go through just
Let's hear
thinking
'em
about
all.
each game. Oh, you're not getting out that easy. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's figure out who's got the game that you want and then go and get it. Each one of these games was gotten almost one at a time. It was very rare that I would buy more than one game in a shot, although my first purchase was 5 games in total. And that still took 2 trips to get them all back. So, you develop the techniques to move stuff around pretty quickly, right? If I went and got those 5 games today, I'd stick them all in the back of my truck without a problem. But back then I had an SUV and a borrowed trailer that had a 6-foot ceiling, which wasn't enough to stand the games up in or to get them through the door stood up. So it wound up taking 2 trips.
Now, what was the first arcade game you actually acquired and owned?
So the very first purchase was in late February of 2012, and it was a 5-game lot from a collector in Wisconsin. And I got from her Donkey Kong, Ms. Pac-Man, Millipede. None of these games worked. Golden T97, which kind of worked. And Capcom Bowling, which didn't even have a monitor in it.
I did what? Yeah. I didn't see Capcom Bowling over the weekend. I know you still got Simpsons Bowling. I know 8 years ago you had it.
Yep.
Obviously, the Golden Tee is nowhere to be seen.
Is that the same Donkey Kong and Pac-Man we see?
It is. The Donkey Kong, Millipede, and Ms. Pac are all the same ones. The Capcom Bowling, I took off the floor. It was in a centipede cabinet and was kind of coming apart. We had done a bunch of work to make it playable. So I bought a replacement in an original dedicated cabinet from Pat at Star Worlds, and we had that one out for a little while, and then the monitor went out. and we sent the monitor away to be fixed. And when it came back, that came back, and the board wasn't quite right, so it went into the back, and it's been sitting back there waiting for me to get to it. Golden T97 was never quite right. You couldn't backswing, so you could just flip forward, and the game would. You could play it, but it wasn't quite right. So once I replaced it with a different golfing game, then I took that one off, and it's in the back. It has pretty much been completely parted. So I don't think that Golden T97 is coming back. It's really it's not the right game for our mix here. So I don't think that game's coming back.
I see Golden T everywhere.
Yep.
And
Seems more like a sports bar type of game.
Yeah. Stuff you can find out in the wild. I mean, you're not going to find a 97 out in the wild, but for the most part, you can find those elsewhere. So we don't want to focus on that. You can make the argument you can find Donkey Kong and Pac-Man elsewhere, but there are just some games that you're not really in arcade if you don't have them, and Pac-Man and Donkey Kong are included in that list.
But you do have a Birdie King too.
yeah, I tried it.
No.
That was, I don't know.
You didn't care
There's
for
no
it?
scores entered on that right now. But I tried it as like, I didn't quite get it. But maybe I need to spend a little more time on it if I even want to seriously put up the first score on it. But it's
a fun one.
I know there's no zooming in and out. And it's like, hit the ball, and it's like, I don't know, the mechanics seem a little strange, but then again, maybe it's because I'm used to other golf games playing a certain way.
You're going to have to talk to the boys while I check people in.
All right. Ross, Jeff?
You talk to Kat. I'll just hide over here.
Oh, Kat.
Start with
We'll
you.
give Kat a little love here. Welcome in.
Do that?
Thank you, Stephen.
Separate together.
So what's been going on? Bloody Wars tournaments, they have announced the next game is going to be Mortal Kombat, the
Yeah.
original. We're in the aftermath of Chris Plackey setting that 24 million,
You don't need to wear wristbands. Just hold on to
which
it.
is,
News coming out.
let me put the other crew on mute for a second while they're talking to customers. 24 million points.
That's
Yeah.
really
That's
better.
insanity. And that's the game coming up in January next month on the oh, look at this. Josh Pitts thinks he's going to take that back.
Oh,
Yeah, good luck with that.
uh-oh.
Good luck with that. I don't like your chances, Josh. I don't like your chances.
Guy.
Now, Mortal Kombat at Underground Retrocade, Matt Burke actually has the house high. I don't know if he'll make it in for the podcast, but he was invited. Well, let's talk about some of the gamers that have appeared at Underground Retrocade that are not necessarily regulars at Galvin Ghost. Matt Burke has always been around the arcade scene. I know for a time he had the world record on Ninja Commando, and you were protecting that score before he started taking down other scores. I don't know if you have anything to say about that, but
Wait, what? What are we
Matt Burke,
So
as his skills as a gamer.
He's great.
Matt Burke puts in more scores than anybody. He might put in more scores than everybody else combined.
He's very dedicated.
He's always puts in scores every visit. He's always improving his game. And that's what it's really all about.
And Scott, the Ninja Commando, yeah, his score eventually got beat, but then he took the house high on Dragon Slayer 2. He has the house high on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He had the high on Simpsons. I did beat that one, but he has several others. where do you see him going? Where do you see his skills as a gamer going? Because I think he's had struggles versus, I think, but he's
You're always going.
I guess he's the James White of Underground Retrocade, isn't he? Would that be a fair statement?
You could make that comparison, sure.
All right, Ross and Jeff.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Jeff Stellman, you're
Yep.
the winner of the Underground Retrocade Big Dog Tournament.
Barely.
Oh, no.
Barely?
Barely.
Barely.
Free contest for
It did.
everybody
It did.
involved.
It. Truth be told, it did come down to the 11th hour, and this guy over here.
Well, Cat 2.
Yeah, Cat 2 was there at like every step of the way. Now, they did not make it easy on me at all.
We
Yeah.
pretty much all got sick of playing pinball at the same time.
Yeah, like that was definitely the difference maker in the end. It was pinball, kind of out of my comfort zone, out of really all of our comfort zones, to be honest.
Yeah. It felt like a job, right, guys? I mean, we were going there almost daily, spending hours putting our time in. I mean, I got put out.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, but congratulations, it was amazing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so about that, seriously, true story. Like Ross put up, what game were you playing?
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters, and he got to like an area, because I have the highest score in that. He got to an area that I hadn't even heard of.
Yeah,
I got to slide that in there. And I was worried because he put up a big score and took the lead until I got.
It was close.
Yeah, until I got a score in Doctor Who. Kind of up to that, and that was a.
I got a multi-ball on Foo Fighters, and Jeff definitely walked away with a tear in his eye, thinking that it was all over.
There's definitely something running down.
But he got me back into Doctor Who pinball, and I just didn't have the heart to play it for 9 more hours straight. So he took it down.
It was a tough tournament. It was fun though.
He won it fair and square.
No, I found a lot of new favorites, like games that I'd never even really considered playing.
Same.
I think I played every single game except Birdie King. Funny enough, I haven't. That's the one. I think the one game that wasn't in the tournament.
That counted, did it? Birdie King?
Yeah, that one didn't count. So that was like the only game I've still yet to play here.
Same with some of the fighting games, but we played those.
Yeah, I've played those, but yeah, definitely found a lot of new favorites. Games that I'm going to be coming back to. So in that regard, it's definitely worth it.
That was an entire summer tournament.
Yeah.
We didn't actually start till the end of June, though. For whatever reason, we walked by the signs a million times and just didn't pick it up. And then all of a sudden, we kind of noticed it and put up a couple scores. And then like that, our egos got involved and we're here every day.
Yeah, definitely. It became a personal battle between us. We're very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw, other people that were also equally competitive.
Even Mossie's, who had the point system and how it was scored worked against him, and he still almost, doubled our base scores, which is hard to do for sure, but especially with the amount of games that we put in. But it was close competition with everybody, and definitely got personal for all of us at some point, but it was still fun.
I think there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, wasn't there, guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll never forget the face. We were just pissed off, and I mean, it was like,
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think all of our families probably questioned our decision at one point. Just got to that level where the amount of time we were putting in definitely wasn't equaling up to whatever the prize was going to be. It was purely just trying to put up best scores and beat Jeff.
But hey, you know what? Listen, I'm the big dog, and it was worth it. So
I think next year I'm looking at this. I kind of need to start in the month of June for me to even have a chance at it, especially with the commute.
Yeah,
a 240-mile commute.
Come out here and temporarily relocate.
Yeah.
Temporary. Yeah.
Well, maybe Scott has a room in the back
Just
or something. You can
work remotely from here.
I don't know if I can work remotely because, well, I guess I could, but I don't know how I could. I still have to deal with these troublemaking animals.
Well, you could bring them with.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be happy if I took them with me. Plus, I'm needed at my job, which is, providing tech support all over the state of Illinois.
Instead of the Crimeycade, it could be the Catcade. Just bring him in, let him run around.
It is the Catcade right now.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
The cats have take over everything, and this little goof is in my lap. Anyway.
What cats do you have, Stephen?
Just 2.
Oh, where's the other one?
She crashed she came in here for a little bit and then she left.
Aw.
Here's a calico.
Lucky is to have a cat in their life.
Well,
Son,
the calico is 17 years old and on medication, so
Oh.
has to get it at least every day or every other day at least, and that's tough. I used to be up at the Galvin Ghost for like 3 or 4 days at a time, and now it's like if I'm gone for 3 days, I have to have family come in and feed them.
They do need food.
Yeah.
Well, they need food, but they want their canned food, and they also have to get their medication, which is, once reluctant to take it, that's a problem. But what can I do? Anyway.
I'm sure you're.
What's that?
I said, I'm sure you're a good parent to the cats, right?
Yeah, the cats pretty much control me, not the other way around. Anyway. And Tracy Gleave says, cat! Josh Pitts says he's got pay a visit to the Underground Retrocade soon. I think he's eyeing that Mortal Kombat score. He thinks that's easy pickings for him. What's that?
When he is.
That should have came last weekend.
Maybe he had to work. I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, the recap of the Underground Retrocade arcade tournament and canned food drive. There was a kids division and an adults division. I saw the results of the adults division, but who won the kids division?
That was the big dog's son, Action Jackson. So like father, like son, apparently.
He just dominated the competition by a wide margin, or how did?
Well, he was in second place, but he wanted to come back after what was it? Your nephew?
No, my buddy Rob, his son had a really good skee ball score, and Action Jackson, he just wanted to destroy it.
Yeah, so he came back.
He came back and he kept playing until he got a high score in just about every game that we had on there. It was pretty impressive. Even the skee ball score, it was I don't think I've ever got as high of a score as my buddy's little kid did, and then Action Jackson, he just kept crushing it. I was surprised. He must have played that thing for an hour straight. It was nuts.
Yeah, he was loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what was the score? Sorry.
I think it was 41,000, and I could release them too. It was just take forever to write them all up, but plus I don't think any of the kids are really looking for it unless he wants me to release it. I will.
The first thing he did when we came home that night, he's like, Dad, can you put on Pac-Man on the arcade for me so I can practice?
Oh.
So he was fully invested.
That's cute.
Yeah,
well, here's the adult results. Tim Vanderkolk won it all. I gave it the good old college try.
You did great, Stephen.
Yeah, you did really well.
Better than Jeff. That's all that matters.
By just a very little.
Barely. By one. I got second place, but Vanderkolk got 77 points. I might have caught him. I could have caught him if a couple of things broke my way, but it didn't. Bubbles, I might have scored a little higher, but for some reason, why was near the drain, it would yank my bubble to the left into a razor blade for some reason.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you're yanking your bubble.
And it's like, I'm not even pushing that direction. It's like, is the drain pulling my bubble away from it when I'm. It was weird.
Drain definitely does have a suction to it.
It's a
So
drain.
So yeah, depending on where you're
It's a-
at, it kind of wants to pull you in. So you have to kind of
Well,
counter.
it wasn't wanting to pull me in. It was like pulling. It was like throwing me another direction that I didn't intend to go at high speed, which I.
You might have been
trying
hitting
to
those
pick-
grease spots. If you hit those grease spots, you get amplified in speed in a certain direction, whatever direction you were pressing when you hit it. So
The
That's-
grease spots. Okay.
watch out for those grease spots.
Little knowledge from the Bubbles High Score King here.
That's right. Just here, not in general. But.
Gotta
Yeah,
keep
115. A little short. Go ahead, Kat.
gotta keep the drain clean, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, totally.
You have those roaches coming out, and it's like I'm trying to like knock those sponges and brushes into the drain, and they're like nowhere even close. And sometimes the broom misses. You know, I was aiming at it.
The broom, the only thing I could say for that is as soon as you get the broom, go to whatever wall you're closest to, and then you go directly into the wall, and then just aim it straight up and go straight up. And you can pretty much kill it every single time.
Yeah, I was going for the corners. Half the time, I wouldn't get the broom when I picked up the cleaning lady. I don't understand.
You have to hit the broom itself. If you hit her in the back, you don't get the broom.
Never hit her in the back.
Never hit her in the back. You got to hit her from the front.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wait, it's
That
not
was.
a lady. I thought it was a witch and a broom. Is it a cleaning lady or a witch?
Yeah, we're talking about bubbles, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bubbles.
Yeah, I think it is a cleaning lady because she's like swooping up
She is
the
a
points
cleaning
for
lady.
you.
She's cleaning. Yeah, she's sweeping it up.
I always thought it was a witch. Oh man.
No, the game defines her as a cleaning person.
I mean, well, I never. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see which. I don't know. Maybe I thought cleaning lady.
I mean, then again, she's small enough to fit in the sink, so I don't know. Maybe.
She is in the sink, right?
Yeah.
When you think about it, what's she doing in the sink?
Yeah. Crap. Okay.
I don't know. Anyways,
Well, she's cleaned up. What else is she gonna do? Sean Courtney also took the high in Junior Pac-Man. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
almost caught him.
Junior Pac-Man.
he had a great
That was
score
a
on
tough
that.
one.
Well, to
For
be
me.
fair, he's the world record holder for that game. So,
Oh yes.
I did not know that.
I mean, he doesn't have
Yeah,
a
he does.
former world record
Oh,
holder.
okay. Nice.
1.2 million points to be exact. Also, yeah, I got 540. My personal best there was 8 years ago. Gosh, 550 and change. That doggone seventh board is all those long square corridors. You got to clear all those dots, and that's a good place to get caught,
Is that
even
the
with turbo speed.
Where I die every single time.
Steven, or is that the one with the root beer level?
Yes.
Yes. That got me too. But that's a pretty good score. What you got too, all you guys. That's a tough
The
game.
only game I took the lead on was Donkey Kong Jr., which is pretty much a surprise.
Yeah, and that was
Cat.
the only
Oh,
reason.
go ahead.
The only reason why I even put Donkey Kong Jr. in there is because everybody was playing it for Arcade Wars, and I figured, hey, if we can get a couple score submissions, that'd be great. But unfortunately, none that made a difference. So the whole plan-
No, not in the Shadow Ben Fall score, and
yeah, that was ridiculous.
Kat, your bright spot in this tournament was Time Pilot.
Thank you.
You got 480,000.
Yeah, it's a great score. She could
Thank
do better too.
That game,
Yeah,
after a while, it kind of gets me disoriented. I mean, you're not moving, but you feel like you're moving, kind of thing. With the game. So sometimes if I play that too much, like the emotional start to kind of get me a little bit. I don't know if anybody else suffers from like motion sickness or anything, but I just feel a little weird after that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, gotta
I
stop.
haven't had motion sickness. I know I couldn't get past the UFO level. I don't know. I can hit somehow.
Back.
I think I've only cycled the whole all 5 levels once,
We're not back.
but
Just
if I
got
had cycled all 5 levels, I might have passed Jeff or Vanderkolk.
I think you were beating me at one point, but I saw your score and I had to go top that.
Oh, okay.
But Kat ultimately destroyed everybody.
I
You
was
played the spoiler. I get it.
She came in late too and just smashed it.
I mean, but you guys killed it and everything else. I mean, like my Donkey Kong score sucks. It's like 9,100 or something. And how about it that night? Was it Ross? You were there, and then the other Steve guy. He was playing it the night he got like the 800 and something thousand. And he was like,
Good.
what did he say that night? He was like showing us like how to do it, and then he was like,
He was
it's
trying to get to the kill screen. He was talking about that's like been his goal because he has all the high scores on that. He's wanting to get to the kill screen.
yeah. It just makes it look easy though. It's like, oh yeah, you just got to do this and that. And I'm like,
But yeah.
What?
All of his advice went right over my head. I was nowhere near.
Oh, you just don't
Yeah.
die? That's easy. Oh, that's what I've been doing wrong.
Yeah.
I know. He used a word though. Do you guys remember what he said that night? It was just a term he used. And I'm like, what? I don't remember what he said.
No, sorry.
Oh, Tracy has a message for Bozzi.
Yeah? What's it say?
Tracy Gleave wants you to enter the T20 tournament next year because they need more girl power.
Right on. Tracy, I would love to. I mean, we'll have to see when, with the schedules and stuff. I mean, I wish we lived closer, but I mean, it doesn't mean we can't get a hotel or something and, spend the weekend or whatever. With me, it's like, I don't know if anybody else gets migraine headaches. I'm not going to be something for a, migraine commercial or anything. But if I play like for a very extended amount of time on any of the games, sometimes like I get a headache and it's like, I'm done,
Same thing when I hang out with Jeff for too long. I can't handle it.
It can only take me in small doses.
It is the weekend right before anniversary.
Yeah.
So that'll be, 2025. And by the way, they're going to change it up next year. So it'll be the 8th, 9th, and 10th of August 2025. And anniversary is on a Wednesday. And because I'm a former Gamer of the Year, I have to be there on every anniversary now.
Wow.
Even if it's a one-day trip. Oh, Tracy has advice for you. Blue light glasses, would that help you?
Oh, I've never tried that. Thank you. I can consider it. Yeah.
Ross, Jeff, what about you? Do you think you could? Do you think you would have any interest in entering T20?
T20, yeah, I might give it a try eventually if Ross does it. That'll give me the motivation to go.
I struggle focusing on a game long enough to get a high score on it. There's some games that I enjoy playing and I can do all right, but when it comes to a T20, I would get absolutely crushed. No chance for me. But hey, for the sake of fun, I wouldn't mind. I'll just go with. But yeah, when it comes to tournament high scores, I know that's not my path in life, but I'm okay with that. I just like playing for fun.
Here's some encouragement for you. I went and did the T20 year before last, and I was not in last place.
Hey, there you go.
So if I can not come in last place, you will do far better.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Steven, if Jeff goes and Steve goes and Kat goes, I'll go and I will get not last place.
I wouldn't be so
Well,
sure of that.
Hopefully I don't get in last place. Although I'm like there from open till the final bell or the final coin drop.
How long is it in a day? I mean,
It's the sum total of hours is 21 hours, broken up over 3 days.
gosh. Yeah.
It used to be 4 days long, which I miss because grinding takes considerable time. I seem to have done better when I had more time to learn the games and grind for scores. But when you go in the doors, you don't know what games they are. And usually there are a bunch of games that are not on the arcade floor. And nobody, unless you played it somewhere else. Yes, she's talking about Power Up Baseball, the prototype answer for NBA Jam for Major League Baseball that did not get released. Tracy lost by 82 runs in 3 innings.
That's not going to get done.
Now, Steven,
That's hard.
what's your opinion, Steven? Would you rather have the games announced beforehand, or do you prefer, just kind of everybody having the same shot right when you get there? Because I was struggling a little bit with that, this past weekend, what I was going to do.
I don't know if it actually made any sort of a difference, since this was a charity tournament and not as much, and the stakes were not as high. Well, T20's got a sizable sum of cash as the grand prize, so that's all the players may not have the same amount of time to practice. I certainly did not practice before coming up to play in the tournament. We're trying to find some way to keep Justin Vithel from, I guess, crushing everybody, since he seems to win every time. He wins every T20 except the one that he stayed home from due to the pandemic. Vithel just walks up to any game and just crushes it. He may not know anything about the game, but he's like, or never ever played before, but somehow he gets the top score on it by the end of the weekend. I know there's been a couple of people have tried to take him down, but hasn't happened yet.
All right, well, new blood. Maybe be
We'll
one
see.
of us. Be one of us. Takes him down. Yeah, probably not. Probably not, but one can hope.
Maybe we'll just send him a message and say it's on a different weekend. It's been rescheduled.
All of a sudden, Bill has 4 flat.
I think a lot of people would be using that same strategy. Because, the one time that he did not make a T20, guess who won?
You?
Me. Shock. I don't know how that happened.
Or...
Say again?
No, it was a bad joke. Keep going. You're fine.
Come on, Ross.
Well, the virus didn't keep me home, so if you don't want to show up because you're afraid of getting sick, well, that's your decision. But I'm not going to put my life on pause because I'm afraid of getting deathly ill. I am taking good care of myself, taking my vitamins, and you know, that's basically what you got to do. You can't just give up on life just because you think you might get sick, because of all the fear that's been floating around. This isn't about COVID, but Anyway,
I feel like I'm on a Fox News thing. Breaking news.
breaking news.
Talk
Yeah.
about vaccines.
Anyway, Underground Retrocade, the future. So right now you've got how many cabinets or how many different games do you have on the arcade floor?
Just over 200.
Just over 200, and you have room.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yes, actually, I have a walk. I did shoot video of the interior of the arcade, so throw that up there. Anyway, it has undergone some changes over the years. You have pinball in the front. This is the newer Sterns. You do charge,
Stupid.
or they have to throw quarters down there. That's separate from the all-day pass.
It's my favorite game.
There's your merch. Is the Jubilix? Let me go back a little bit. The Jubilix. Yeah, that's that rhythm game. I know Star Worlds has it.
Yeah, it's about to have an accident and be broken forever.
No way.
It doesn't work?
No,
it works fine.
Perfect.
No, I'm just tempted to destroy it because I hate listening to it.
Or is the music that bad, or what?
No, just annoying.
Sitting next to a rhythm game for an entire weekend while he was running the tournament can be taxing, right? It's the same 5 songs on repeat.
Oh, it only has 5 songs?
Oh no, it's
I
got
guess like
hundreds of songs.
If you
but
play it.
The same 5 songs play during the attract mode.
Oh, okay. Have you played that, Ross or Jeff?
I'm terrible
Oh,
at
I've played it. Yeah, I played it quite a bit.
Played quite a bit. Okay.
He loves it. I'm terrible at it. I hate it. I'm gonna probably bash it at some point.
You break it, you buy it.
Yeah.
Strangely enough,
People do enjoy it though. People like it.
It's like Dance Dance Revolution for your fingers.
That's exactly what it's like.
It was actually a lot of fun the first couple times we played it. We were dancing around being stupid, and most people in the arcade do love it. I'm the guy that doesn't. I think when you had George Strain on, is that his name? Strain. Anyways, the mechanic for Garcade, he talked about how he hates Spanos. Oh yeah, sorry. He talked about how he doesn't like the DDRs either, and I think it's probably for the same reason.
I mean, yeah, there's more rhythm games than just Dance Dance Revolution. Obviously,
Sure.
I can't play it. Choco Vader Contactee seems to be the most famous rhythm game in the Chicago area.
I hope to get a world record on that one at some point. I've been playing it a little bit. That's one of my favorite in the arcade. It's just really weird. Strikes me right at the right place for some reason.
To get a higher percent, you pretty much pick the same. You pick the easiest 4 events to get that S rank.
Yeah.
Or get that 100% and do those every time.
Yeah, I've started to slowly hone in on which games I can do that with. I have 1 or 2 that I can get above the A and the S category, but I still haven't played all of them because there's a ton of them. But I'll get there. I think there's like 16 different games or something.
Yes, but if you get 100% after completing all 4, you get the extra. You get an extra event, which happens to be doggone rhythm. You're hitting the directions as they cross over that bubble.
Okay.
It's like a repeat of one particular game. If you don't hit it perfect, it's over, and that's it. If you complete it, then you get over 100%, and that's the only way to do it.
Well, hopefully one day you'll see my name on arcade with it.
All right. So we're walking through. Some of the games here do have a multi-board on them. I know the Donkey Kong has DK2, the Foundry, and then the Pauline edition. This one has the 60-in-1 board in it, I believe. But most of the games here are in their original cabinets. There may be a few that are doubled up, like 1942 and 43 are in the same cabinet on a switcher. I believe area. So this is one of the. I didn't get to play that one, but that's one of the original games there at Underground. Your Sub Rock actually works, or has the correct, well, mostly correct colors. I have the house on that. What are some of your favorite games here that you really gravitate to every time you show up?
Who are you talking to here?
All of you, anybody, whoever wants to answer.
The first one that comes to mind is between a game that we always play against each other. We always do a tournament, like a mini tournament against each other. And this game inevitably gets picked. Karate Champ.
Yes.
So that's a game that we pretty much play every single time.
Somebody will giggle at some point when another person karate chops them right in the nuts.
The game,
You
as
just
seen
can't help
in
it.
what was it? Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Bloodsport.
Oh,
Right? It
yeah.
was in that. They played that.
Yeah, Karate Champ's definitely a good one. We always enjoy that. For a while, Tron was our decider, our seventh game. If we were tied, we'd play some Tron. It seemed fitting. I'm a fan of Missile Command and World Rally. Off the Wall I like a lot too. Choco Vader, as I said earlier.
Bubble Bobble, so go-to for me. I love that game.
Me too.
Off the Wall is kind of like Arkanoid turned on its side.
Yeah, it's a little funky. I like it.
I know there was a Commodore 64 game that it was pretty much the same thing, although it wasn't. It's an independent programmer. I didn't know of Off the Wall, but that one was. I wish I knew the title, but it was turned on its side like Off the Wall, so, and it seemed to be pretty popular.
Yeah,
You did the walk around when Speed Racer was off? Why was Speed Racer off?
Yeah, Speed Racer was down.
Should have been on.
Why?
Oh, I got the high score, so I keep turning it off.
So no one can play.
Yep.
Oh, really? This is Brian Colin's row back here. He has that banner overhead and all the games that he did the artwork on.
Oh yeah, Super Spy. That's another one that I'm working on right now.
Which I have the house hike up in Ghost.
I'm aware.
You're aware.
You have
He's
the world
got it
record.
for
If I'm
ya.
not mistaken.
It took me a while to get the number of points I got on it.
Yeah,
It's a very long game.
I played it for like a day, and I'm like, yeah, you could have this one. I'm not going to focus on
Yeah.
this game.
Something about the AI or whatever, it really manages to piss me off after a while. But I can score pretty hot, pretty steady in the 20s, and I don't know. I haven't worked on it for a while though, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like Lucas had the world record 38,200.
Ooh.
Arcade has high, but it's not. I think Twin Galaxies has higher scores than that from somebody who played through the entire game. There's the infamous Birdie King. A Ring King's down.
Yeah. Sorry, some trouble.
Something
about this time of year when all the monitors start to go out. So that's why so many games are down. We got to get all the monitors through the monitor guy. And he's backed up.
Wow.
Dubin.
There's a favorite, Assault.
Chog. That's a good one. I like Chog.
Assault makes me sick. I don't know, guys. It's just move around.
Yeah, Assault's a little tough.
But yeah,
Assault is pretty tough, yes.
It's just like it is kind of disorienting how the camera moves.
it is.
Well, the tank is fixed on the bottom. It's just the whole screen moves.
Yeah.
Too is like Neo Geo. I love like all the Neo Geo games. The multi Neo Geo you have.
Oh,
Like,
man.
Although Choco Vader is not a Neo Geo game, it just happens to be in the Neo Geo cabinet.
It's a Dynamo
Assault.
converted to Neo Geo.
Okay.
Then
Assault.
Get a marquee made for it.
Assault has been a game that, you know, I've been battling Mossy's. Looks like this is over. I've been battling Mossy's for the House High at Galvin Ghost. Well, now I have the House High at Underground Retrocade. I hope he'll probably try to take it at some point, take it back at some point, but it's. Go ahead.
No, I said congratulations.
And the rub set is not the same. Retrocade has the harder ROMs on its cabinet versus Galvin Ghost.
626 versus your 589.
Yes. Basically, I have to play all the way to the last level and take out some of the major cannons to get to 600,000 to have a chance. It just depends on how many tanks you have getting towards the end of the game. And unfortunately, the 5th level of the game, which is the longest level, you're not going to be able. I can't speed run it. So I get through half the level, time runs out, and then I complete the other half of the level with the second tank. And those time limits are short on some of these levels. Kat, what is the game you gravitate to when you show up at Underground Retro?
Well, I always have a pattern. I mean, it's almost, I have bad OCD myself, and I mean, it's very satisfying to play the certain games in order. So the very first thing I do, I use the bathroom. Like, I drink a million cups of coffee and then go right to Robotron. That's my first game. I love playing Robotron. You know, it's very satisfying. And then sometimes, I mean, I do love Moon Patrol. It's been a little bit, you know, going to play that. I'll play Gyrus. I love that. Let me see. I mean, Berserk, obviously, it's been a little bit, but War of the Frenzy, like every other day, Scott, you know, you've got it in the same cabinet. So just depending on the day, it'll be either Berserk or Frenzy. Not very good at pinball. Like I said, that was kind of the tournament thing, but it has grown on me. You know, I'll occasionally play the pinball. Yeah.
Same here.
The paying ones too, you know, in the front are good. I like the Jubeat one, you know, the rhythm game, of course. I'm not as good as Jeff. I'm trying to get there. Bubble Bobble upstairs, obviously. Love that. Buster Brothers, which is right next to that one. Love playing that. Macross, love that. Especially since knowing where it came from. If Scott tells you the story, a couple of the games he's got where he got Macross. Scott, you want to say?
Sure. We got it from
Galaxy World.
Galaxy. Thank you. Yes. We pulled it out of Galaxy World along with our X-Men and Tetris and a couple other games. So Galaxy World, for those of you that didn't grow up here in Chicago, was one of the big locations where you could go and there would be tons of games to play at.
It was in Carroll Stream, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, Gary.
And then when did it open? Was it like in the 80s or prior to that?
You know, I don't know. I went there the first time in, I want to say, early 85. But I had not been there prior to that point. I know there were multiple Galaxy Worlds here in Chicago. There's one down in Naperville that I never went to, but at least those two locations for sure.
But that wasn't Odyssey Fun World, right? Was that the different one? Or
I
the
don't
Great
know. Yeah, I don't know where Odyssey was. I don't know Great Outdoors. There was a Four Seasons on Lake Street that I never went to when it was an arcade.
Hmm.
Those were my hangouts.
But yeah, Galaxy World was so cool. I mean, imagine like a 70s or 80s, crappy roller rink, and it had like the carpet on the walls, it felt like, and like the floors were just that orange reddish carpet. I mean, it was so amazing.
Ramps that they had, like,
Yeah,
like
everything was on
down-
different levels.
Everything was
It
like
pretty
on
wild.
multi levels. I remember.
Yes.
That's the first arcade that my uncle took me to, and I remember it was so great. I had to have my 10th birthday there. So I had my 10th birthday party, big 1-0 at Galaxy World.
Oh, I love that. It had a bowling alley too.
For that arcade, it was great memory.
And it had bumper cars in the amusement area. It had some like tarantula, right? Some kind of thing like that where you twirled around. It had the what's the other stuff you turned around in? I don't know what.
Like a tilt-a-whirl deal.
World, tilt-a-whirl, yeah.
Then it turned into like Brunswick Lanes for a while. It was that
Brunswick
for
bought that out. Yeah.
Brunswick bought it out, and it was like that for probably 10 years.
Should have been that's at the end.
But then, now it's just like a gas station
Oh, it's
truck
gone.
stop.
We went in and
They
bought the
demolished
games
it.
from Brunswick.
Yeah, it's very sad.
It's right where next to White Castle, which White Castle is still there.
Yeah.
It was just such an amazing place. And like I said, I don't know if it was
For the mall.
Stratford. Oh God, yeah. Let's not start that. That makes me want to cry. Stratford Square Mall. I don't know, Stephen, if you're familiar with the malls up here or Charlestown.
Just Woodfield.
Woodfield. And that's actually doing pretty well, right, guys? I mean, it's still
Still there.
Still there.
It's always
I
Christmas, that's for sure.
right.
it does have 2 arcades in there. I did walk through both of them when during a break at the Pinball Expo.
Was that the round one or what is the arcades in there?
No, it is not round 1. Woodfield Mall has a
it's
kind of like, I don't you could call it kind of like Tilted 10, but maybe a little bit. They do have bowling. They have the large pinball section and classic arcade, but modern too.
Yeah. It's like, how do you play like a 20-foot high Pac-Man? It just doesn't make sense, Like,
World's largest Pac-Man. Yeah, it's a little different.
That kind of seems like all the modern arcades are, redemption games or giant retro games.
Yeah, Giant Galaga.
Yeah, giant Space Invaders.
yeah. It's like a casino, right? I mean, you expect
I call it kiddie gambling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Get
them started early.
Get those tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so a lot of these places, yes, they got the redemption games, but it's either a combination of rhythm games like Dance Dance Revolution or some version of it. Some game where you're playing musical instruments like Guitar Hero, but it's like other types of instruments besides a guitar. Obviously, shooting games like Jurassic Park and because that seems to be
Flappy
a
Bird.
lot of Cruisin' World
Fruit Ninja
or Cruisin' Blast
games, phone games.
Go ahead.
Games now.
Yeah.
Saying that they're making phone games in the arcades now.
Phone games?
Yeah, like your Fruit Ninja and like games that were originally on a cell phone. Now they're big TV or a big touchpad, basically.
Right. Obviously, racing games. There's all those. A lot of them. And there's been a few VR games. Skull Island. Kong. Obviously, Halo. Fire Team Raven is pretty common.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that that Funway that's like up in Aurora, I believe. Yes.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Does it
Yeah.
have the roller rink in there too?
It's got everything. I took my kids there to go roller skating. They have bowling alley, and then during the summer it's like batting cages,
Bumper boats.
mini golf, bumper
Water
boats, all sorts of stuff. Go karts, they got everything.
Now they still have the Enchanted Castle in Lombard too.
He's taking for spring break.
Oh, Enchanted Castle, yeah, that's another good one that's still standing around here.
Have you been there, Stephen?
Enchanted Castle? No.
Yeah,
I don't know where it is.
old school. It's in Lombard.
Yeah, it's pretty close to the
Lombard? Okay. Haven't heard of it. I wonder if it's an arcade.
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know how many of those, like the classic games like that, are there that are
They
left.
used to have classic games. Like when I was younger, they had like a whole area that was like kind of like modeled after a Chuck E. Cheese, where they had animatronic birthday parties. But I think they're more like Redemption style, newer style games now. More like a Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
Well, the arcade entry has not been updated for quite some time, for at least 12 years. Looking at the Enchanted Castle webpage, yeah, there is definitely Raw Thrills games on the arcade floor. Redemption, too. Of course. I guess someone would have to go do a walk around, get the game list. But the last time anybody walked through there, this game list is from like 2010. Yeah, it's in Lombard off Route 38. But
30.
no, I've never been there.
It's
So
through the road.
Yeah, it's right off the highway. Well, in shouting distance from the highway, a mile or so.
now, right now, all the attention is the grand opening tomorrow
Yeah,
of the
that's
Headless Horseman. I was asked if I was going to be able to go up there tomorrow. I was like, no, I'm working.
What time is
Should
it?
have an appearance fee.
I don't know when it's. I don't know what time it opens tomorrow, but Paul Zimmerman said he's going to be there. Who has trading card number 1 in Walter Day's trading card series. Headless Horseman now has gets the magic number 4,700 is the newest card in the Walter Day trading card series. So I'll ask you this: do any of you have trading cards? Does Retrocade have its own trading card?
I don't think so,
I've
Scott.
got one. And we have a couple of community cards out of here. I think community cards were 13 or 14.
How many do you
Okay.
have, Stephen?
These two are it.
That's more than what
There is a group card also from one of the autographs sessions that I'm in, but I don't count it.
The drinks have to stay at the tables. You can't take them in by the game.
Oh, what's
What's
happening?
going on?
Yeah, you can leave.
We're stepping out for a moment. Yeah, does Underground Retrocade have a trading card or card representing it? Do you know what number it is? Oh, he has to step out for a second.
Guys, just me and you, Stephen, right?
I guess. We'll wait for them to return in a moment. I don't
Oh,
know why they stepped out.
yeah, must have had a technical difficulty somewhere. Haunted Trails is another arcade place. I don't know. Have you ever heard of that one? Haunted Trails?
They talk about this. Gavin Ghost talks about this all the time, and I was like, I don't know where it is.
There's a couple different locations. I know there's one in Joliet. Not
Is
Joliet.
it still open? Is the question.
Yeah, actually, well, at least as of last year, Yeah, we had gone, and it's so cool inside the Joliet location, especially. It's dark in there. It's like wrought iron railings, and you got the old, kind of reminds me of what a Galaxy World would have been back in the day. I know you haven't been to it, but it's just dark in there. It's really cool. Oh, hi. Who's all
They're
here?
back.
You guys?
back.
Okay.
They're back.
Talking about
Yeah.
haunted trails with Steven.
We can hear you the whole time. We just have to step away to have a conversation.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Yeah, haunted trails. There's a couple different locations. I was telling Steven. It's really cool.
I think Haunted
All
Trails,
right.
Jimbo Slice's big arcade, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
He always tells stories about Haunted Trails.
And it has the mini putt, right? I thought there's the one in Burbank. That's where the other location is. I had the cards like for it, the reloadable cards, but that's the thing, a lot of places you get the reloadable cards, and then before you know it, you're spending tons of money. Like, do you remember GameWorks was out?
I remember GameWorks.
Yeah, and I mean, God, you could blow through, a couple $100 there easy, just putting the money on the card. I remember the Sopranos pinball, and I loved playing that. It was my favorite pinball game.
I know when I went there, I got dinner and then I got like 30 minutes for unlimited credits for about half an hour, which that time went quick.
Yes. After like a certain amount of time, remember, it turns into a bar, and then, okay, the kids go home, or whoever, it's like after 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and then it turns into a different, like a club or something. And it was like, what is the hell going on? It's different.
Yeah, GameWorks went away and then it got taken over by Level 257, which then became Pac-Man Entertainment.
Oh,
I
is
don't
that
know if it's. I don't know if it's still there or not. I think
GameWorks
no,
was not-
actually.
It was a different location.
Oh, it was. Okay.
GameWorks was in Streets of Woodfield,
Yeah.
which is further south. It's like one mall over because Schaumburg doesn't have enough malls.
Schaumburg does not have enough malls. I do know that
Oh, in general.
Schaumburg is like one big mall.
Dave and Buster's is now in one of those spaces.
David Buster's took over the GameWorks spot.
Okay. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to walk through it. I mean, it's been a while since I've been through a Dave and Buster's, but they always seem to have the newest arcade games for everybody else.
And the sad thing is that Dave and Buster's closed the Addison location so that they could open the Schaumburg location. And that Addison location had been a staple for over 20 years. We were sad.
Off Interstate 355, correct?
Yeah, you could see the big flag and the big sign, right? Just as you kind of turn from west to south on 355. Yep.
Okay, so that's gone. I did not know that.
Yeah, they closed it so that they could move to Schaumburg.
Because that location, I remember back in the mid 2000s, they had the 6-player Galaxian 3 theater set up.
Oh, I never saw that.
Oh, it was. Actually, that was not the 2000s. It was about, I would say, about 1997.
Sounds about right. I remember playing
They
Time
had it.
there a lot.
Oh, go ahead.
When I played Time Crisis 2, that's where I played it.
Okay. I hear somebody's playing Junior Pac-Man right now.
Yep. Join the games.
Kat, I looked through your scores. You also have House High on Gyrus with an impressive. You broke 1 million.
Thank you.
That's not easy.
Yeah, I didn't even expect it, of course, and then it rolls over, and then it goes to 0 again. So I was like, crap, we're gonna make sure that you get the it's happening. Otherwise it's like, oh, what, you got 20,000, or 200,000 points. So yeah, I only did that maybe, I don't know, twice now, and like I said, it was amazing to do it. But it's funny because, I'll try to play that at the Ghost, and then where it's in, the different room. I can't say it's the hot room anymore because they fixed it. So it feels more temperate in the shmup room. But yeah, I think sometimes with the glare and stuff, I gotta, I don't know, you know how that is some of the games and the lighting, and the moon and the stars have to align right to get everything going. But thank you. Yeah, it was a little bit since I played it, but I think it's back, right, Scott, in its old position where your arcade.
Exactly back to where it belongs with the Century games.
Okay, good. Thank you. Sometimes it was a little bit hard to play it up at the front because you got the Juke Beat, you got the Ghostbusters on the other side, so it's kind of like stimulation overload, with all the noises, the bells and the whistles and the movies and everything going on.
How hard is that? I've tried to play it. I played the Atari 8-bit version. Every time I try to play the arcade version, it's like I'm trying to shoot these formations, and it's like they're firing shots at you.
I mean, it's all about, positioning, right? Like just where you're at. I mean, especially in the challenging stages, after each level, and then you just, wherever your ship is, you just got to make sure it's kind of like Galaga, and or Galaga 88 or whatever. But, just like where you anticipate where, everybody's going to come out, and you just, I don't know, like studying that. I mean, that's my best, place to tell you. I mean, but yeah, once you get what is it? Earth. Yeah, Earth is more difficult. And then, it's been a while. I can't remember what's after Earth, but yeah.
It basically starts at Neptune and then cycles through the planets.
Right.
Till you get to Earth.
Yeah. And, it's counterintuitive or counterclockwise, where you got to be, because, sometimes when those ships just come at you, or not the ships, but the meteors and stuff just come at you out of nowhere, and it goes real fast. And it's almost like you got to look at everything at once, if you're like hyper focused on like one area or something, you're screwed, right?
Right.
It's just, but yeah, that's that kind of game. I like fast games, it's, I don't know. And I love, like I said, Macross and just everything. And I love where it came from. It's probably one of my favorite games there. I never thought, but I love the shmup games. If it doesn't make me sick,
Ross? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ross and Jeff. Oh, go ahead, Kat.
one more thing. And what Scott has that's amazing is box, right, guys? And put the music, like these guys love to play Rush all the time. So it's like every time I hear Rush, I don't even know where these guys are. And I'm like, yep, they're here somewhere. Because it's always
6309 and 6331 on the jukebox. Type them in. Good times.
it's
Yeah.
fun.
What?
You put your music on, it's like, it's just the music and the gaming. It's, copacetic, it's just, everything is fantastic. I love that. It's really cool.
It's a wonder that you don't have Rush the Pinball. Because if you did, you'd be playing the music on it nonstop.
Yeah, I
need to
definitely
get
would
it.
play it. Scott.
Yeah, and you go up to Garcade and they turn the music down on it. George does. It's terrible.
Oh.
I don't get it. At least they got Iron Maiden pumped up. That's another one we should get here. I say we.
Yeah,
That's another one Scott should pay for and put in his arcade and let me play.
All right, Jeff and Ross, I never asked you, what was the hook when you got into arcade gaming? What was the hook for you?
For me, probably the first time I went to Galaxy World, I remember my uncle's like, "Here's $5," and we put it in, got the tokens. I don't know, something about the tokens, and I don't know what game I played first. Maybe it was like Street Fighter or something like that. Maybe I don't even remember exactly what game I played first, but that I was immediately kind of hooked on the arcade after that. Something that I've been doing throughout my life. But, having a family, I paused for a bit, but then I discovered the Retrocade one fateful day, and I've been coming back ever since.
Yeah, similar for me. Used to go to arcades when I was a kid, and then it got to a point where we used to play board games a lot too. Our little friend group, and one of our friends had another kid, and the other friend bought a boat, so we knew we weren't going to be playing board games for a while. So me and Jeff started coming here a little bit more frequently and doing little 7-game tournaments against each other, and then that's when we kind of discovered the big dog. And once that tournament went on, we were kind of hooked. I mean, we're pretty much here every week now. But, a lot of these games play when you're kids, and we were console gamers. I'm sure Jeff was too.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually telling Scott earlier, I started my gaming with Nintendo. I remember Mario being the first game I played, and Duck Hunt, and then graduating to Contra and the Ninja Turtles and Punch Out. I was obsessed with gaming from that point. Arcade came after that.
Yeah,
Nintendo was my first gaming hook in general.
I used to watch my brother play Leisure Suit Larry on the computer for a while. That was a fun one. But yeah, definitely Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and then the original PlayStation. Man, that one is what really got the hooks in me as far as gaming goes. I play that thing for hours. Some Tony Hawk, some Tekken, Grand Theft Autos, those were all good. There's a game called Warhawk that I played forever. It was one of the first games where it felt like you were in an open sandbox with a plane, basically. It wasn't like you're on tracks like Star Fox or some of the others. I used to love that game.
What games have you been playing lately?
For the
You've
past,
been grinding.
I dove headfirst to try and surprise come and win the Bloody Wars tournament. So I was playing Street Fighter 6 religiously for 1 month.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I ended up only going 2-2, making it, to the third round and losing. But
it's tough competition.
That was the game I've been playing nonstop for the past month.
We play Call of Duty with some buddies now and again, but I think we all kind of hate it. So many hackers and just people that play all day long, and there's not really great matchmaking. So, I'll play maybe an hour of it every 2 weeks, and they pair you up with somebody who's been playing all day long, and so that gets a little rough. Rocket League's kind of fun too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
My kids are really into Puzzle Bobble right now. Have you played that one? It's Bub and Bob's, little spin-off there. But they're really into that, so that's always generally on in the basement on the Multicade. So I constantly hear that going on in the background, no matter what I'm doing.
As far as here at the arcade go, World Rally and Sega Outrun, for some reason, those 2 racing games really got the hooks in me. I don't know why, but I'm enjoying those both a lot.
Kat, what have you been grinding on lately?
Well, when I'm at the Ghost, Rainbow Islands, I love that, right? And you got a really good score on that too, Stephen.
Yes, but I ain't beating Jim Patzer.
Oh man, he's a machine, right?
Yes.
Another one. It's like a fast game, and that was one of the ones that was one of my hook games growing up myself. Rainbow Islands. I mean, I still have it. I still got my Nintendo. That was my first, experience with playing religiously, right? Every day or before going to my dance practices.
Look what I brought today, Stephen. I saw it on your backdrop there, actually.
Yes.
I saw your poster in back there.
Yeah, nice.
I still love it too. The music is great in it. Music, I mean, for me and you guys too, right? I mean, video game music is fantastic,
I love it. I love it. I could put on that song from, what is it? The Underwater song from Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo. That chill, tranquil music. Put that in the background and let that play on loop.
Heck yeah. Even like Star Tropics.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one.
Oh, it's great, I remember I still have printed out like the old time walkthroughs. Do you remember like in the early 2000s or what, late 90s. And I mean, literally print out something like this big, just like, okay, what are these, where to go next? And obviously like Zelda and like all that stuff. And, I have my Game Genie. Like, I don't know if you guys,
Cheater.
Game Genie. Yeah, I have a Game Genie. I have a Game Shark.
I mean,
Yes.
I still got that. I mean, just all that stuff. What is it? Well, Wonder Boy, but Adventure Island, right? Hudson's Adventure Island. Like I said, Rainbow Islands, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers 2, even.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers 2 is some of the like best music.
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
Any of the Mario games. I'm actually learning a lot of those like on piano just for fun because I'm a nerd. And what do? I'm going to learn the piano to play what? Video game music.
And I have to say, I mean, obviously, and I still, well, okay, as far as fighting games, I suck at fighting games. I wished I can do it. I mean, I can appreciate them. And I mean, the guys make it look so easy. You know what I mean? Like when I see stuff, and I'm interviewing all the guys, and they literally, it's just like, oh yeah, or everybody's getting into it. And I mean, I've always wanted to do it, but my first recollection of a fighting game was when Killer Instinct came out, and so I was like always playing Orchid. So this is a chick, and her music was awesome. That music was great in that game, and I had the soundtrack. Remember the little CD that came with it, the music. I wish I still had that, kept it, but it's stuff like that. It's the nostalgia ties to it. And obviously, for the PS2, I have that still too, and the Grand Theft Auto Vice City was my favorite because it was the 80s and it's in Miami, and it's the music is great. I mean, even on jukebox, right, Scott? I mean, I'll kind of cherry pick, the songs, and it's like, all right, let's put together one of the nights, like the Vice City music, and you have the music that we put up there, and people are like, oh my God,
Cat has his own section of the jukebox you can find. He won't put anything on for us, but he's got a special section just for Cat.
Oh man, well maybe one of these days.
Maybe.
Do you think there will be a Bloody Wars tournament at Underground Retrocade?
Okay.
Who are you asking? You got to ask JP, not me.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Do you think?
I'm going to go ahead and say it's okay. Go ahead. It's fine.
Do
you want Bloody Wars to be held at Underground Retrocade? Because I think he might be lurking in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, he might be still here. At JP, if you're here, can you give us a sign?
If he's not, I mean, I'll.
The hell with this?
Oh, he is. He's still in the chat.
He's here?
I see his name in there.
What do you think?
He better emerge. I wonder if I can get us maybe he's sleeping. I don't know. He just is streaming, but he's sleeping. I'll get us oh, there he is. And I'll tell him and tell him to answer the chat right now. Anyway, let's see if he responds in the next minute or so, but let's see comments. Yeah.
Well, here's a question for you, Stephen. Do you think Doc would ever want to do a tournament for charity? Something like we did last weekend.
I don't know. I guess, you know what? I might as well make the announcement now since you brought it up. Because he might be able to answer that question. I don't know. But my guest next week, and it's going to be on Tuesday instead of Thursday to accommodate his schedule. Tom Nider, Tommy Waffles, will be on the Crimeycade next Tuesday.
Let's see your waffles in the chat.
Waffles, yes. If anybody's around. I don't have my thing going. Hey, wait a minute. Let me see. I got my extra chat window. Maybe I can. Do I have my waffles? I have to be subscribed. Oh well.
I'm not a sub, so I don't have access to it.
Through my. Yeah, I have my own emotes. I have my tournament logo.
Yeah.
The Campus Challenge logo. I gotta have that at least. Well,
So how
JP Pitts is
people are watching
sleeping.
now? Do we have a lot, or is it just us? What's going on?
What's up?
I mean, how many people are attending right now live? Can you see? I can't.
2
Oh,
million.
here we go. We got his attention.
Yep.
All right. JP Pitts, will you ever hold a Bloody Wars tournament at the Underground Retrocade? Yes or no? Let's see if he answers.
Ooh,
Now, it is quite a distance from the Ghost. We got to make sure that Wi-Fi is working because he always seems to be having technical difficulties. He needs a computer guru like me to help him. Go ahead, Scott.
We've got pretty tight Wi-Fi out here. Sure, he'll be fine.
All right.
you remember the fight we had a couple weeks ago when everything broke? What was it? We were all watching the fight, the famous fight.
Yeah, that wasn't our Wi-Fi. That was
Oh, my God.
Netflix.
Yeah.
That was Netflix, right?
That
Yeah.
was Netflix's,
Wasn't that
their
Netflix?
servers.
Well, that nuts.
Well, he says it's a conversation for JP and Scott to have. So, well, I guess there's a chance.
There's a chance he's
So
not
you're
closing
telling
the
me
door.
there's a chance.
So I will have to see who the top fighting game players are at the Underground Retrocade.
That's
Matt Burke would be in there. Let's see. Who are the top? Let me look. Let me check real quick to see who the top scorers are on the fighting games at Underground Retrocade. I'm looking for Street Fighter on here. Who's got the high score for that?
high scores for the fighting games here. Though.
Right. We usually don't take scores on the fighting games.
Unless it's Mortal Kombat, right?
I don't think so.
MK is the only one you have scores on.
Do I have scores on it?
Yeah, MK2 you can't. There's no score on that.
That's a speed run.
Yeah.
MK2. Jeff Stellman has the high for X-Men versus Street Fighter. So
That was the
he
first.
would be in.
Yeah, that was like, during the big dog tournament. I found myself going to each game, playing it once, having to take whatever score I got,
Yeah.
and then being haunted by it all day.
Yeah,
Thinking, like, man, I could have done better if I played it twice.
Yeah, that was one of the most frustrating things about the tournament is, going for the multiplier, playing every game once, and just knowing you don't have enough time or it's not worth enough points to, put in the time for it. And now, I still have a list on my phone of like 40 different games I have the last place score on that I got to go back and play again. But some of them it'll be fun. But yeah, that was frustrating to know that you could do better, but you just don't have time to do it.
Well, that's
I
what
know- Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. That's what screwed me in the end with the stuff because the pinball, and it was like like the day before I was literally playing like the same pinball game, like 7-8 hours or whatever, and I wasn't even getting a point higher. I'm just like, what am I doing to myself? And
Like the Looney Tunes pinball game where it's literally random whether or not the big score comes up and you can actually get it or not. So you just have to keep playing game after game to even just try to get the random score.
what about Black Knight? Oh my God.
Hey, that's a great.
I like it, but man, that game, that's a rough one. That's really hard.
Oh, yeah, I'm terrible at it, but I still love playing it.
Yeah, that's very tough pinball.
Yeah.
It is.
I do note that Pete Hahn has the house high for Primal Rage at the Retrocade. Which is a nice, impressive score there.
Yeah, I think he's got a few.
He's got a few, yes. Yeah, and right now he's a game tester for the modern day Mortal Kombat.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very cool.
Which there's been a little bit of controversy about that, but I'll have to, I think, make that a topic for next week. There's been chatter about whether MK1 is now dead, and this goofball is interfering in my taking over the desk and trying to paw things and throw it on the floor. He's an idiot. Yeah, he's
Tail.
trying to grab things on the desk and throw it on the floor just to be honorary.
All I see is a tail in your face.
I know. This'll
Oh,
furball.
oh. What's it?
Cody. It's Cody.
Cody?
Are we seeing a crotch shot?
What?
No, the cat's covering.
Oh, I get it now. I couldn't figure out
Cat's
what
on my lap. He took over. My other one is not in the room, so I can't introduce her. But anyway.
Aw.
Yeah, troublemaker. Anyway.
Mystery.
Anyway, for all of you, each one take turns answer. Future goals in the gaming scene
Or in life.
Oh, the gaming scene. Okay.
Yeah.
or gaming. Future goals in gaming.
Keep waking up every morning. That's a goal. And the
King of Airborne, yes. Not get snowed in this winter or get frozen.
Yeah. As far as the gaming world goes, I'd like to have another tournament at some point and hopefully raise some more. And I would like to beat your Super Spy score at some point. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't have too many. I just like playing the games, having fun, you know.
All right, Ross.
That was Ross.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about any goals per se. I mean, I guess Arcade Wars thing's really cool. I do dig that. I'd like to actually put up a score in a game that, you know, is winning something. So maybe that's a goal, like to find a game. Yeah, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, to find a game to where I can actually put up a good score, hopefully. Other than that, there's not really any specific game that I'm working on per se. I'd like to not suck at Robotron maybe eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it. Well, now I have to practice Junior Pac-Man too because that was bad performance on that one. So
Oh, you're gonna go after Sean Courtney's score?
no.
Scott? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe just getting the realm of you guys around 400 to 500. That'd be cool.
I have one more quick. My arcade goal right now is to convince Scott to bring Time Crisis back onto the floor.
Original, number 2, or number 3?
And I'll settle for any, but I think he's got 2 and 3 if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think the only game that I wish you had would be Narc.
Dark.
Narc. That's a game that I really love. So
Oh yeah, last one, Rampart. I'm pretty sure I can get the world record on Rampart, but it's at Galloping Ghost, and I hardly ever get there. But yeah, I think if I try, I could get that one. So that's on the list. But yeah, how about you, Kat?
Or you still got the membership going for that you won?
Yeah. It's good till the 17th, I think. Which shout out to the Bloody Wars, who had a raffle and got a free 1 month to Galloping Ghost. So yeah, hopefully I'll get back there before it's over and take it down.
Nice.
Scott? Oh, go ahead.
Scott?
Maybe you want to hear Kathy's goals because my goals aren't that impressive. It's not really game related. It's more maintenance related and just trying to get to 100% up.
Is there a holy grail you're after?
I have a whole list of games that I haven't yet found in a state or price that I can accept, but there's no one holy grail that's out there. Here, a working pole position. How about that? Find me a working, reliable pole position machine. That'd be nice.
I guess I should. There's not one grail that you're really after, but I guess maybe your top 3 most wanted.
I have people
Pole
ask.
position is one.
That's personal. But when people request stuff, Probably the most requested thing I get is Paperboy.
Interesting.
Yep, Paperboy 720. Couple of medium res games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Awkward controls. People never know if the game's working right because they don't know how the controls work.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
You
That's
know.
3. Pole position, Paperboy, and
Rampart.
720. Oh,
I would
he
buy.
wants Rampart. Okay.
Oh, nice.
I would buy a Narc before I would buy a Paperboy.
There you go, Steven. Narc and Rampart in pole position. Those are his top 3 right now.
Narc number 1.
Kat, your future goals?
And I would love any place, either or, but to get Dance Dance Revolution. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'd be cool with that too. I'd do that. I'd be dancing.
Me too. Can we do it, Scott? Can you get
Put it in the back, Scott. Put it in the back.
Yeah.
The kids love it.
Put it, I don't know, somewhere in the back.
I
That'd
know.
be
I'll change the vibe here. Though.
Everybody wants to get into my back door. Man,
You do have room for it. As at least you have enough room. You could compress a few games together, but
enough room in my
to fit
back.
it.
Yeah.
You've got plenty of room.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got a lot more room than others. I mean,
I
I know
personally,
you have those cubby holes on one side on the upper floor.
Those used to be dressing rooms. Do you know what that used to be? Scott's place? Steven?
No, I have no idea.
Scott, you want to tell him what it used to be?
No,
Oh.
Now it's
Was it a clothing store?
we'll just leave that as a mystery for next time. This used to be a bridal salon.
Oh, okay. That's
If
fair.
you've ever seen Bridal Boys on on TV, there's a whole series by them. They used to be in here before they did that series.
used to be a hardware store at one point too, way back in the day.
Oh, wow. But yeah, Dance Dance Revolution, you guys, I mean, wouldn't that be?
yeah, I'm on board with that.
I'll do
Right.
it to make you guys laugh, but I refuse to play it seriously.
I can't dance. I can't
Yeah, Steven.
I can't dance. I can't talk. Only thing about me is the way I walk.
I can't approve of that.
Phil Collins is on my mind, I guess, at this moment. I don't know.
I want a karaoke machine too.
Now you're talking.
I have to reestablish the rules for that.
Karaoke.
Can't have that out in the open.
Wouldn't that be something?
There's and sing along.
Karaoke.
Wouldn't be the first.
Boy,
No.
talk about the cringe, right? But that'd be amazing. Although that's, I don't know. You could have the jukebox, you'd have the whole area upstairs. Man, that'd be amazing. But no, in all reality, well, I would like it if there was an actual Rainbow Islands machine, but I mean, I guess those are very rare.
That board is outrageously expensive.
Yeah, but I do
You
appreciate
have it on one of the multis?
you have it. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
so
it.
just play that.
Yeah,
What was I looking for? Iron Maiden.
I will say, speaking of karaoke, Brian Colin would, I guess, have some sort of quasi sing-along
Oh, Iron Maiden.
at the end of, let's say, after the Pinball Expo closes and we're gathered around the fireside area. It's like, I guess people were taking turns singing, and I, for some reason, pulled out my phone and sung the lyrics to White Rabbit.
Hey, White Rabbit's a great song.
There's a local band in town, and it's like the lead singer. Every time I see her, I bug her and says, "Have you learned White Rabbit yet?" And no, she does classic rock, a whole set of songs, but she doesn't do White Rabbit.
You want the
Yeah, it's gonna be a
together or
problem.
separate?
That's it.
It's a female lead singer. It's like, how could you not? Oh, it's not a complicated song to sing or play, so I don't know.
You don't need to wear the wristbands. Just hold on.
You just need to start your own band, and
I'm unfortunately.
is White Rabbit.
There you go.
If I start my own band, I need to win myself a guitar at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Unfortunately, I've 2 tries at it, and Jim Patzer beat me last time around for the guitar. I don't know if he's playing it or learned how to play it, but I might have a chance at it in 2025 if they give away another one.
Good luck.
Instruments, Stephen?
Yes, an actual guitar from a guitar store.
What? I mean, do you play any other instruments though?
In grade school, I played a cornet.
Oh.
But I got out of that when I got to junior high.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Nice.
Gamers are leaving the store. Well, anything else I forgot to cover? I mean, I just kind of went random here.
I just thought of this, not to cut you off, but Scott, did you ever think, because at the Ghost, they have, well, I don't know if they still have it, but a suggestion box. Scott, wouldn't you love to have a suggestion box in your front? To see what people would have to say.
I would troll that every time I get here.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know what I don't think Doc has ever read out the suggestions he's gotten.
Really? That would be entertaining just in itself, right? Just to see what people would have to say.
Yeah, you think so?
I can't think of anything he would want less.
So I think if you want that idea to fly, you're gonna have to be in charge of it. You're gonna have to read all the suggestions.
I would love to read.
To Scott.
How about you put one on your desk at work? Let me know how that's successful, and we'll do it. That sound like a plan? He does for a living, right?
Yeah, but Scott, I mean, I just sometimes you've came out with the best things that we've ever heard you say. I mean, like when people would, not play nice with the pinballs or just the machines and stuff. It's pretty entertaining to hear them.
Do you want a suggestion box for the customers to give me suggestions, or do you want a box for me to put suggestions in to give to the customers?
That might work for Scott.
I guess it's a two-way street, but no, because at the Ghost, they've got the box with the suggestions, because that's actually how I had asked Doc about the Rainbow Islands game years ago, maybe to get it, or like what to see, maybe for the arcade, what to get, or like you said, and it would just be interesting to see, from that standpoint, not from anything else. I mean, obviously.
I found that generally speaking, people are more than happy to speak their mind as they're exiting and say, hey, you know what you don't have yet? And then they make their request. That happens pretty often.
Does it? Yeah.
Yep.
It would just be interesting to see, people are crazy.
I like it. I'm gonna bring a box next time and set it out. I like that idea.
That box is gonna go in a garbage like the second you walk down
Come in the door and go right back out.
Here's a suggestion for you.
Yes.
Back of the head.
There's a whole slew of suggestions all the time. There's thousands of games out there, and so little space and so little time, and you can't play them all. I know some people try.
Yeah.
Well, Stephen, how about this? I know you're good at suggestions. What suggestions would you have if I ever do another tournament? What would you improve upon? I know scores is one on my list, the live scoring and how it was collected and everything, but other than that.
What would I suggest for Underground Retrocade?
No, for the tournament. For the tournament that we did, not
for the tournament.
Games. Yeah.
What games would I pick, or what kind of format?
Like in general.
Just anything. What would you change to make better? I know scoring wasn't great. I would do that differently, but other than that,
the only thing I'd like to have is just kind of like live updates of the the score table so I know where I'm at when what game I need to put time on. Kind of like the same format T20 is. It's just like kind of I guess the Fast and the Furious 5 tournament.
Yeah, and I definitely recognize that. At first, I meant to set it up as kind of like a self-service kiosk in a way, but then I realized people always want to talk to somebody, so they would have just been bothering Scott the whole time. So that's why I ended up being there most of the time. And I think I would definitely do it differently, where you, like you said, you kind of have like an Excel sheet going with all the scores. People just put them on their phones and bring it, put it in when they're done. And then you could even put that up on the projector if you wanted to.
And you can throw a QR code up and direct somebody to a Google form to fill out directly. And you can do that. I know a good IT guy that can help you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know I had to kind of wait till I was done playing before I submitted my scores, because I'd get one score, then I'd prove on it, and then it's like inch my way up, and it's better. It just saves the scorekeeper some trouble if they only have to put in the score once and as opposed from the same player, as opposed to like several dozen times a day.
Yeah.
Which
Plus
is how
you get people like Jeff and Kat who, sandbag and don't turn in their scores and don't want anybody to know,
Yeah, that's T20's like that as well.
Yeah.
Although they just like wait till the last day to submit their scores, and it's like they're not qualified because they haven't played every game or submitted a score for every game. It's like, and then you get surprised. You might have that early lead, and then that's evaporated immediately because the top player airs all the scores all at once. Annoying. Which Doc ended up circumventing that little strategy a little bit by making every player qualified. They just put a score of 1 point on all 20 games. So if they haven't put in a score for all 20 games, we do know where they're at in the standings. But anyway, it seems like the tournament went pretty good as it was. So
Yeah, we got more people out than I expected. We raised more money in canned goods than I expected to.
How many pounds of canned goods?
It was 164 pounds of canned goods and $123. So
That's pretty awesome.
considering I wasn't even on social media 30 days ago, I'll take it for now. And hopefully we can improve on it in the future.
That's a huge.
When do you think you'll have another tournament?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to put it in Scott's suggestion box and see when he's ready for another one. I don't know.
I would avoid the month of April, however. That is also
trying to do
why April. Midwest Gaming Classics the first weekend, and then C2E2's the second weekend. So it's going to be pretty crazy that month.
Well, I think Massey's might have been looking to do a tournament in April as an anniversary event. You'd have to ask him for more details if that's still going on. But
when's your anniversary? Or when's the anniversary date for Retrocade?
We usually do our anniversary in September. However, we're moving it to our actual original start date, which should be in June.
Okay, so the day that Retrocade opened back 10 years ago was in the month of June?
When we opened in 2012, we opened in June.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were open all the way until May, and then we got hit by the flood. We were shut down for the summer, and then we reopened in September. So we've always used the September date, the reopen date, as the anniversary, but I'm trying to decouple our anniversary from a local town event, Heritage Fest, because we wind up with so many people coming to Heritage Fest that there isn't room for people to come and park and come to the arcade. So usually that's a low attendance weekend for us. So we want to do it when people can get in here and play without any impediment.
You mentioned a flood. What happened? Did you suffer any?
I left the sink on accident.
I mean, the river. I know we're close to the river.
Our building was right on the river.
Did you lose any games?
We didn't lose any working games. I had a couple of project games in the basement, and they got lost.
Which is why there are no games in the basement. I know that I did see that the basement is closed off, although I can see the stairs going down there. You don't see. I assume you're not going to expand down into the basement anytime soon, if ever.
As
Never.
Doc would say, who knows?
Who knows? Okay.
He's gonna put the Dance Dance Revolution down there.
There you go.
If you have never moved a DDR cabinet,
I have not.
you should try that first and then tell me how much you want one to move up or downstairs. Because I have moved one and we're not moving one up or downstairs.
Okay, fair point.
I'll tell you this. I had arcade games in my basement. I had a new garage built with a room on the back solely so I could have all my arcade games on a ground level in case I wanted any more or to trade them.
How many games do you have, Stephen?
I have 5 full-size cabinets.
When
I know there was
when will the Crimeycade be its own standalone building that people can come and pay, and you could have a suggestion box?
There you go. It's an arcade.
technically it is its own. I mean, if I had company over or garage sale weekend, I actually have it open to the public.
Garage sale weekend?
Yes, when our neighborhood has neighborhood garage sales, if I'm selling, I have the arcade open for people to walk in and play games.
Well, Jeff just left. He's on his way.
All right.
Slippery slope, man. That's how Garcade got started. He had it all in his basement. Had people over.
And then you got a building.
Yep.
All right. We're going to wrap this up. Catherine, Jeff, Ross, Scott, I want to thank you all for joining me here tonight. This was a lively, fun discussion and kind of informal, but it was fun and it was unpredictable. I didn't know who was going to be here this evening, so I just decided to wing it all the way through, and it was fun.
Yeah, appreciate it, Stephen, and appreciate you coming out and supporting the food drive too.
Well, if you have another tournament, I was missing out on. I was disappointed I couldn't defend my Pinball Expo championship. So the Underground Retrocade filled a need that I had, and I was pleased with my performance, getting that second place finish.
Yeah, you put up
overall
some good scores, and like I said earlier, most importantly, you beat Jeff, and I think we all appreciate that.
Next time around, I might go for all 3 days instead of 2. And maybe if I was there all 3 days, I might have won it all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely don't think you would have beaten Bubbles. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I would, if I didn't veer off at that, when I had that one game on Sunday, I might have beaten that top score of 125?
In the tournament, it was 182. I think my high is only 190-ish. I know the high of the Ghost is substantially higher than that.
Well, yeah, and the tournament.
Yeah, in the tournament it was like 180 something.
Oh, I see. It's 182. Yeah, as long as I got ahead of, because I needed just 7,000 more points to pass 2 other players.
Yeah.
And that could have made the difference. But
I'm still reviewing
well.
the score though, so after review it may get canceled. We'll see.
I got the
All right.
to prove it.
Underground Retrocade.
Let's play it right now.
Underground Retrocade is at facebook.com/Underground Retrocade. The arcade is open from 1 to 11 p.m. How many days a week? All week or just certain days?
It's the one was a holiday thing. The normal hours are 5 p.m. open weekdays, noon open weekends, and we stay as late as 11 p.m. 7 days a week.
And $20 admission.
$20 admission.
And if you collect 10 wristbands, you get a free admission, correct?
That's correct.
All right. All right, Scott, Ross, Jeff, Kat, thank you all for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Stephen. Have a
Thanks
good one.
for having us.
I hope to see you all around the arcade soon. The still line from Doc.
Absolutely.
That's what that
Sounds
is.
good.
All right.
Great.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good
See
night,
ya.
everybody.
All right, that will do it for this edition of the Crimeycade podcast. I am going to raid a channel, but whose channel am I going to raid? Let's see who's streaming tonight. Let's see. Well, all right. I think I'm going to raid Lord BBH. There, he's streaming. He's streaming Ninja Gaiden. Oh, the arcade game. Yeah, that's a tough one. Oh, that's going to be a fun one. So, until next time, I am the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. Next week it will be Tommy Waffles will be here on Tuesday, December the 10th. I hope to see you all around the arcade soon. And have a good night, everybody.